Hi, I'm Wen-Yee, a tech reporter with Taiwan's Business Weekly. Business Weekly is Taiwan's largest Chinese language business magazine published weekly. Every week, we also publish explainers on what you need to know in the business world on our YouTube channel. In today's debut English episode, we'll delve into TSMC, Taiwan's semiconductor manufacturing company, and its overseas expansion. We'll also explore why TSMC's presence in Japan amidst Japan's 30-year semiconductor industry decline could outweigh its factories in the United States within the company's global strategy. Let's start with TSMC, a Taiwanese company that you rarely heard about. Its market capitalization has quietly risen to become the ninth largest in the world as of April 2024, right after Amazon, Meta, and Berkshire Hathaway. What is TSMC important? Well, this company produces the most cutting-edge chips in the world, which are used by big tech companies such as Apple. In any electronic devices in your daily life, you can probably find a TSMC chip inside. In other words, the digital world cannot live without the company. Even the US government recognized how crucial TSMC-made chips are. In 2022, US President Joe Biden visited TSMC's US factory, celebrating the comeback of chip manufacturing in the United States. The US Department of Commerce just announced a $6.6 billion subsidy for TSMC in April 2024. With its majority of production capacity in Taiwan, the company is now expanding not only to the United States, but also Japan and Germany. TSMC actually started their US construction in 2021 and began its Japan construction later in 2022. It would have made sense that the US factory went into mass production first. However, that's not the case, as the company has faced delays in the US and will only go into mass production in 2025. Their Japanese factory, which started later, is leaping ahead and will begin mass production this year, making it the first factory among TSMC's overseas expansion projects in recent years to reach this crucial stage. In today's video, we'll explore three key aspects. First, why is TSMC so important that the world cannot live without it? And even the US, Japan, and Germany want more of it. How did TSMC create this kind of foundry model that is so unique? Second, what kind of challenges is it facing? If TSMC is building its US factory under geopolitical pressures, what about Japan? I would also share my findings from my reporting in Japan. Third, building more factories outside of Taiwan, how do people in Taiwan look at it? Let's talk more about TSMC. When it comes to semiconductor companies like TSMC and NVIDIA, it's easy to lump them together, but in reality, they operate in vastly different ways. TSMC, for instance, specializes in semiconductor foundry services. They excel at manufacturing chips for a diverse range of customers. Who are these customers? There are companies like NVIDIA and AMD, chip designers without their own manufacturing facilities, or like Apple, who designs their own chips for iPhone. TSMC's emergence disrupted the traditional integrated device manufacturer IDM model. Instead of companies doing everything from design to manufacturing in-house, like what Intel is doing, TSMC pioneered the foundry model, allowing smaller IC design startups without the capital for their own factories to thrive. TSMC founder Morris Chang has said, TSMC's business model is semiconductor manufacturing service, and its customers are other semiconductor companies. The best example is NVIDIA, the chip designer dominating AI computing. When NVIDIA first started, it struggled to find a trusted factory to assist in chip manufacturing. NVIDIA founder Jensen Huang has repeatedly saying that without TSMC, NVIDIA wouldn't be possible. Also, TSMC's focus on foundry services has allowed them to continuously refine their technologies. In recent years, they've earned recognition for their technical prowess and high yields, attracting major customers like Apple to continue using TSMC factory to make their latest chips. Moreover, TSMC's customer-centric approach sets them apart, as they prioritize service in a way that even newcomers to the foundry market, like Intel, have yet to match. Today, TSMC stands as the world's largest foundry, offering cutting-edge manufacturing technologies to customers worldwide. Like any tech giants nowadays, TSMC has its challenges. The biggest challenge that the chip maker faces is geopolitical pressures. But let me give you some background quickly. First of all, the global chip shortage triggered by the pandemic has sounded alarm bells worldwide. From laptops to smartphones to cars, the absence of even a single chip can halt production. That's when more countries started to realize that ensuring stable chip supply is a priority for economic stability. Even the economists label Taiwan as the most dangerous place on earth. Were production at TSMC to stop, so would the global electronics industry at incalculable cost. This risk has spurred major nations to invite TSMC to set up local manufacturing facilities. Basically, every country would like to have a TSMC. And at the same time, Taiwan, where the chip maker's majority of production is located, also faces its own resource shortages. Taiwan's an island with limited land, water, electricity, and talent. How many more factories can Taiwan accommodate? These are urgent issues for TSMC to figure out. If they can't find a way inside Taiwan, then going abroad would be an option. Last but not least, geopolitics. Semiconductor technology is crucial for AI advancements. Look at how many AI chips that the world is urging to get from NVIDIA. The more chips you get, the more powerful your AI will be. Still remember who is making chips for NVIDIA? That's TSMC. It's also important for national security. Look at the US-China rivalry. The United States understands that, so does China. Both countries are working hard on their chip-making capabilities. And even though TSMC has claimed that they are expanding in the US to meet customer demand, it's no doubt that TSMC's decision to establish factories in the US carries political significance. These factors collectively drive TSMC's recent overseas expansion efforts. What about Japan? Japan used to have a highly competitive semiconductor manufacturing industry. However, since the 1990s, the industry in Japan has experienced a decline, often referred to as Japan's lost 30 years. But now, Japan is working hard to revitalize it. In 2021, Japan's government unveiled its national semiconductor strategy, elevating chip supply to the level of national economic security. They see semiconductors as the backbone of future technologies, from 5G to AI to robotics. Now, with TSMC's newly built factory in Japan, the company has also become a key driver for the nation's semiconductor revitalization. And its joint venture with Sony can also ensure a robust order pipeline. In February, I visited their factory in Japan. I was truly amazed by the dedication of the Japanese in helping TSMC build this factory quickly. The Japanese government's subsidies exceeding 1.2 trillion yen, around $7.8 billion, demonstrates its earnestness in attracting TSMC. The sheer speed and generosity of these subsidies outpace those offered by the US, reinforcing TSMC's confidence in Japan's commitment. Japan's Kumamoto Prefecture told me that within 10 days of TSMC's announcement to invest in Kumamoto, they established a semiconductor task force, facilitating horizontal integration across departments. They provided comprehensive support to TSMC in areas such as infrastructure, transportation, land, and talent acquisition. Usually, large-scale construction projects like TSMC's often face complex environmental assessments. Nonetheless, the Japanese government revised relevant regulations to expedite TSMC's efforts. A TSMC Japan supplier told me that they work 24 hours a day for TSMC at a construction site. Isn't that crazy? This is a work culture that in the US can hardly match. Many wonder why TSMC's Japan construction progressed so rapidly. I believe it's because TSMC leveraged Japanese expertise, turning many Japanese impossibilities into possibilities. This also underscores the potential success of TSMC's operations in Japan. Still, as TSMC expands its operations overseas, many questions arise. With ongoing construction of factories in the US, Japan, and plans for one in Germany, it's evident that TSMC is keeping busy. Yet, venturing abroad comes with its challenges. Higher labor and construction costs, along with unfamiliar regulatory environments, have posed hurdles. There are also concerns regarding Taiwan's international standing. With cutting-edge semiconductor processes diversifying globally, many in Taiwan worry that Taiwan's indispensability may diminish. This is why the Taiwanese government is keeping the company's most advanced technology in Taiwan. But from the talent perspective, if TSMC wants to grow, it truly needs more global talent because it has long relied on Taiwan's workforce. The declining birth rate in Taiwan and declining interest of young Taiwanese in the semiconductor industry necessitates a global talent hunt. This aligns with competitors like Intel and Samsung, who have expanded their global footprint to access diverse talent pools. Ultimately, TSMC's overseas expansion is about securing talent, mitigating risks, and positioning itself as a global leader in the semiconductor industry. This journey isn't without challenges, but it's essential for TSMC to evolve into a truly global enterprise. If you enjoyed today's video, don't hesitate to share your thoughts below and let us know. This is Wen-Yee with Taiwan's Business Weekly. Thanks for watching.